Now, the states, just like you have the Child Rights Act, many states, the chief executive and those that comprise the legislature, some of them may be battling with what has become a pedestrian commonplace statement in Nigeria, the stomach infrastructure, that they leave the critical issues of justice because there will be no peace, there will be no progress where there is no justice. If you grab a man on the road that his head resembles that armed robber you saw yesterday and throw him into jail, this man probably was a deacon or a pastor or an imam, nice person, but nobody could speak for him because the system has presented him as a criminal. Some people will say, who knows that motor he bought the other day, whether that's the way he have been doing it. He stays there awaiting trial for 3, 4, 5 years. He comes out. He wants to avenge against society what has been done to him, unjustly. So it's one of the ways we replicate injustices and reaction. And when people aggregate together to carry gun, they say, why are you not dialoguing? They have tried to dialogue for 5 years and nobody listened. So they do it the way they think that will be. So what the problem is that some states don't consider these things important in their priority listing, that they should also reenact it as their own state law so that it will be applicable. It's a federal law now. Like I said, it's in the internet, it's in the air, you can download it. If you like, with some modifications, to suit the peculiarity of your own state, without detracting essentially from the meat of the legislation. And like he said, one of the critical provisions to reduce this issue of trial within trial, the time that we spend on that, the implementation will still be the human beings, like you rightly said. What stops if you have an electronic evidence like video or recorder and all that? After beating the man outside the enclave of video and recorder, you prepare him psychologically and extract something from him. If you go there, say this, I will help you, you come out of it. Or you badger the man in such a manner that he say, okay, even if life is ending, let it just end like that. There's a way you deal with somebody, you just give up. And even say, begin to contrive the situation as it didn't happen. But he imagined that it happened. So that they do it, it's a psychological process. When 7 people have interrogated you over 24 hours, they go turn in turn and they sleep and come back. You have not slept. At a particular point, you lose your humanity.
You break.
You understand? You break. And that Freudian, primordial forces will take over. You begin to, that sometimes you carry something in your memory. It slips. They say it's a Freudian slip. That you didn't mean to say that, you say sorry. But it's sorry, it was there in your mind. So when you get into the reserve of the id, the Freud said there are 3 compartments. The id, the ego, and then the superego. Now, the id is the primordial. That's where all the atavism, even if you are a poor man, you go to sleep. You can dream when you are head of state. That's where nature permits you to enjoy that which is not available at the ego level. Only to wake up to see that they have even stolen your slippers.
And your gari.
So these are the issues. How do we ensure that even the evidence they procured from that man, who they have made to look as a volitional statement, how do we ensure that before he went for recording, that there was no untoward thing? Bail, we know, is free. Many police stations write it, bail is free. In fact, to show you how powerless you are, they carry you and put you, your head will be on that inscription, bail is free, and they collect bribe from you. And when they collect it and say, did we collect bribe from you? No. From your own mouth, the man who gave the bribe will say, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that, because you are interested in getting the man who is in detention out and close the matter. So there are a lot that we will do as human beings to develop ourselves, because the laws are there. Nobody comes to the podium and tell everybody in the auditorium, you are idiots. They will tell them what they like to hear. They will be nice. Their mannerisms will be cultured. But when you hear the lewd things they do outside that venue, you marvel. So let's not get carried away by the niceties of the laws, and we should look at the development of those who enforce the laws, because there is a tendency in them that when you wear uniform, you have become a demigod. And the system seems to support it. That's why the last police IG tried as much as possible to ensure that there are consequences for bad behaviors. The police institution was no longer wont at defending the indefensible. If you shoot somebody and kill him for 20 naira, you lose your own life, ultimately. And when they begin to see that there is a direct consequence of our action, then everybody will sit up.
The human side of it and all of that brings to question this. I wrote down something. Mr. Ojo said there's a difference between the lawyer and the person who is a lawyer. Yeah. You would talk about that, but let me bring this up. Why do we still have lengthy cases in court? I mean, and then, or maybe I should put it this way. Would this law act in retrospect?
Well, definitely not. This is a law that has been... Okay, go on.
So, no, you've answered that bit, but let's get it. So, people who have been awaiting trial, for instance,
yeah.
I mean, there's some have spent up to 20 years in prison awaiting trial. What's going to happen to them? Can this law be used to speed up the justice delivery for them?
Oh, well, having answered the first part, which is that it cannot be retrospective, the law, as has been made, I mean, can be of application to pending cases. Are you with me? It can, I mean, people awaiting trial, people in detention, it's supposed to take effect immediately in respect of federal courts and states that have downloaded. Right? Now, the implementation, as all of us seem to agree, is basically human. Nigeria has wonderful laws, quite apart from
I hear they're amongst the best.
Well, I mean, we make laws, we write well, we talk well.
And we pick from different jurisdictions.
Yes, they're very wonderful laws. The Child Rights Act, as has been adopted, in fact, I mean, in practical terms, let me give the Child Rights Act, the Child Rights Law in Lagos State. The first time we were just experimenting, it was something new. And we had to now apply it to a particular case that was brought. And when it got to the judge, she's now at the Court of Appeal, I was shocked to hear from her that, do you know, nobody has ever used this part of the law before me. This is something that has been in existence for years. And that nobody has ever come with this. This is something that could help children in terms of immigration. And it's there. And it's always been there. Now, so the human side of the application of this particular act is what we are looking at. Now, like we said when we started, it starts with police making arrests. It goes up to presenting suspects before the court. It goes up to proceedings before the court, then sentencing. And it talks about a lot of things that are that are impracticable in a Nigerian setting. One, it talks about having records.
Mr.
Yes.
Let me just stop you. We'll take a moment and we'll come back. Okay. Please don't lose your train of thought. We're back in a moment. Don't go away.